Hey guys, welcome back to Tracy's Local Learnings. So today I want to talk to you guys about dehydrating cheese. It's so awesome to have this on your shelf for if you don't want to run to the store and get cheese, you're out, whatever. It's so easy and so delicious. So I want to show you guys how I do this. So I do have notes again because you know. So I want to say first of all, if possible, grate your own cheese. You can buy pre-grated cheese from the stores, but they put a lot of chemicals and preservatives and whatnot on it that you really don't need in your long-term storage. So I want to encourage you guys to grate your own cheese. If you're not into the whole grating process, then you can throw that block of cheese in the freezer, and when you take it out, it will typically crumble up. You know, as long as your pieces are fairly small and even, it'll dry properly. Okay, so I have opened a jar of cheddar cheese, both the shreds. This is from October of 2021, and I have the powder from December 2021. So now when I went and grabbed the powder from my pantry shelf, I grabbed this particular jar because the seal had failed on me. So when you're vacuum sealing, like I vacuum seal all my jars, so when you're vacuum sealing powders, in particularly powders, you have to put something between the powder and the lid so that the vacuum chamber doesn't pull that out and take a chance of ruining your soil, or seal, which is exactly what happened to this one. However, when I opened it, it's still fine. There's no rancidity, there's no anything that smells like cheese. It did lose a little bit of its color, and I think that's, like I said, because the seal had failed on it. So that's that. So another thing about cheeses, okay, so, and this is new. I think in the last couple years they've added ingredients to different things like cheese and butter, and one of the ingredients they added was annatto. Now, I can't eat annatto because it gives me really bad headaches, so I'm very aware when I'm reading my labels. I know even cheese and butter. So I use white cheeses. So white cheeses don't have the annatto in it, but the orange cheeses do. So do your own research on that. You know, it can cause a lot of different side effects in people, upset stomach, digestive issues, a lot of it. So check into it before you start to do this. Now, I know grating cheese is the best way to do this, but I mean, if you see the pre-grated stuff and that's all you can get it on your shelf anyways. It's still going to be an extra flavor, an extra ingredient to fight food fatigue and just to kick up your dishes. All right, so when I pick my cheeses for dehydrating, I go with stronger, sharper cheeses. So I am doing some mozzarella here today, just because I'm a little low on it and I want to get some on my shelf. You know, because I use it in many, many different ways. All of these cheeses I use on a regular basis, just to keep my stock fresh. Even though, I mean, I don't think I have any cheeses right now any older than 2021. So, you know, we're going into 2025 now, and it's fine. A lot of people worry about the grease in this. When I first started dehydrating the cheeses, I was taking off some of the oil and grease by putting them on paper towels and whatnot to get rid of some of that. But now I want that oil and that flavor in my cheese, so I'm not afraid of it. Like I said, as long as it's vacuum sealed, you're good to go. The other cheese that I'm doing today is extra old white cheddar. Again, this flavor will stay a lot longer than, you know, milder cheeses and stuff. You really do want some good flavor in your cheese, since it's going to be on the shelf. So, and you know, you can mix your cheeses up if you want to blend for, say, doing lasagna where you have a couple different types of cheeses, then by all means mix them up, right? Okay, so I layer them on here like this. I do have some cheddar cheese that I was going to throw on, but there's really not enough, so I'm not going to bother. Now let's go back to our notes for a minute. Okay, so yeah, now I use the parchment paper because I want the flavor, I want the oils in my cheese. I do not take it out. Now when you're dehydrating this, you want to keep your temperature between 100 and 115. You do not want to go higher than 115 degrees because you don't want to melt your cheese. You just want to dry it. So now, and that goes as long as you're vacuum sealing it, it's not going to go rancid. In the case of my cheese powder, for instance, I had vacuum sealed it and the seal broke. It still didn't go rancid, and 21, it's still 4 years old. So I mean, I'm not too concerned about the oil in it. And the key is that you want to get your air out of the jar, whether it's putting oxygen absorbers in it or, you know, vacuum sealing it yourself. As long as it's kept in a cool, dark location, it's not going to go rancid. So when you powder your cheeses, you don't want to just put it in there and just hit the button. You're going to need to pulse it. You know, you don't want any heat to accumulate from the motor. So you want to like pulse it, and you'll need to take, like if you're doing it in a blender or even a coffee grinder, you want to take like a little chopstick and, you know, keep scooping away the stuff that's stuck up on the edges. Now when you're rehydrating this, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute, if you taste the powder itself, it's going to have a little bit of a granule taste to it, a little bit gritty. But as you heat it and rehydrate it, that all goes away. So the shreds, I use it for tacos, I use it for pizza toppings, I use it for my lasagnas and topping casseroles and all sorts of stuff. Again, it's just in how you rehydrate it. So, talking about how to rehydrate it, the powder, this is the powder. I did do it a few minutes ago, so it's kind of gotten cold. But this is the powdered cheese that I rehydrated, and it's good. It's totally good like cheese. So, if we're making cheese sauces or cheese soups or whatever, it's perfect. You can even try putting it on like popcorn. I'm not sure if it would stick, actually. But the shreds I use on everything, and it's so easy to rehydrate these. So what I do is I pour a little bit into a dish, and I'm big with misting stuff when I'm rehydrating. I really prefer it this way so it doesn't like sit in water. And I just give it a mist and I toss it around and then I stick it in the fridge. When I pull it back out, if it's like, this is just like fresh cheese. I did do my shreds really tiny in this particular jar, and now I'm going to leave my shreds a bit bigger for this load. But it rehydrates perfectly, so you could use this on anything you wanted. It's wonderful. Okay. So I told you about the temperature. You don't want to go any higher than 115. Make sure you switch your racks around, you know, as they dry. Check them. When they're dry, they're going to clink into the dish, right? They're going to be dry. And when you take a piece of cheese, like a shredded cheese, it'll snap. That's when you know it's dry. So another thing I wanted to talk about when it comes to dehydrating is you want to allow your product to cool down before you put it in a jar. You do not want any condensation. Because then you take a chance of spoiling your product. So make sure you cool it down before you jar it up, put it on your pantry shelves, and you're ready for winter. Thanks so much for coming by my channel. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please smash the thumbs up, and I'll talk to you next time. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.